inside DeKalb, inside your community, inside your government. With me, Paula Gwen Grant. Inside DeKalb. Welcome to Inside DeKalb. I'm Paula Gwen Grant. It's so good to see you. We are here at the Maloof building, right in the heart of DeKalb County. Welcome to the show. On this episode of Inside DeKalb, we have a lot of great stories for you. So let's dive right on in. It's 2018. Can you believe it? So wait, let's take a second and look at our top stories from 2017. 2017 was a huge year for DeKalb County. These are the top stories we covered last year. We started the year off by welcoming DeKalb County CEO, Michael Thurmond. He began his term with several inaugural events centered on his theme of A New Day in DeKalb.
I want you to know that there is a new day dawning in DeKalb County, Georgia.
Next up, the county began a major multi-departmental initiative aimed at beautifying our county, where we all live, work, and play.
The better the county looks, the better the residents feel.
We're going countywide. We're going to remove debris, litter, clean the drains, and help keep DeKalb County beautiful.
This initiative spanned over several months. The county removed more than 5,600 tons of debris from more than 20 dump sites and beautified over 3,500 miles of roadway. Great work. The next big story last year was SPLOST. With the promise of newly paved roads and many other county improvements, this sales tax offers a bright future for DeKalb County. SPLOST passed and will begin this April. Next up, a solar phenomenon seen all over the United States. It caused quite a flurry of activity here in DeKalb County. The last total eclipse was in 1979, and there won't be another eclipse until the year 2024. But DeKalb County definitely celebrated this one in style. Now, Hurricane Irma came down hard on DeKalb County, but our first responders and officials were well prepared and ready to weather the storm. We salute our first responders for their hard work in getting the county back to business as usual. That's all for our 2017 Look Back. 2017 was definitely an exciting year, and this year will bring even more excellent stories out of DeKalb County. Well, now that we've taken a look back at 2017, let's check out some of the great news stories. DeKalb County government held its 34th annual MLK celebration. This year's event highlighted the 50th anniversary of the 1968 assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. DCTV's Aviva Hoffman has more.
DeKalb County's 2018 MLK Day program recognized and celebrated our county's diversity and unique perspectives. DeKalb's 2018 MLK Day program recognized and celebrated our county's diversity and unique perspectives. DeKalb CEO Michael Thurmond echoed many of Dr. King's important messages of diversity and inclusion. As in years past, many local residents and officials gathered at the Emmanuel J. Maloof Center for this free public event. WSB-TV's Sophia Choi served as Mistress of Ceremonies and panel moderator for this recent celebration.
I live here in DeKalb County, so I know firsthand about the great diversity of our beloved community.
With the theme, 50 Forward, Together We Win with Love for Humanity, guest speaker Judge Penny Brown Reynolds passionately presented her remarks for this special day.
Is the dream relevant? The dream is relevant because you have a God-given right to be who you are. with all that you bring to the table.
The newly elected 60th mayor of the city of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, also spoke at the program.
I just wanted to stop by on my 10th day in office because I have such a fondness and affinity for this family.
And a panel of local leaders and community advocates shared insights on embracing cultural differences.
DeKalb County, because you guys trying to understand us.
How can the county better engage your community to relay important messages and receive citizen feedback?
DeKalb officials also presented a special inaugural award during this MLK celebration.
A young man who reached out to me, who encouraged me, who supported me. And that was Commissioner Nathaniel Mosby.
The Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award, named after the late former DeKalb commissioner, was given to the owners of Your DeKalb Farmers Market.
I say thank you very much. I didn't expect anything like this at all. But, you know, we are part of the county for 41 years, so I feel like, you know, really together with you.
CEO Thurman pointed out this iconic market, which started out as a produce stand in 1977, now plays a major role in bringing numerous cultures and foods all under one roof.
The heart of DeKalb is Your Farmers Market. No matter what race, color, creed, nationality, Muslim, Jew, Gentile, agnostic, true believer, all of DeKalb, all of Metro Atlanta, literally all of Georgia, show up at some point in some time where? At Your Farmers Market.
Dr. King once said, I am convinced that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, as you said, and they don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other, and they don't communicate with each other because they are separated from each other.
DeKalb County, do your job with honor. Walk with honor and integrity. Diversity will lift us up. We win because everybody will have a seat at the table. That's my view. From the mountaintop, God bless you and thank you.
Around the globe and in DeKalb County, Dr. King's dream lives on. Aviva Hoffman, Inside DeKalb.
Thanks, Aviva. What a historic event. DCTV held a live broadcast of the 34th annual MLK celebration. So if you would like to watch it in its entirety, check out DCTV's YouTube channel or visit us at www.dekabcountyga.gov/DCTV. Coming up next on Inside DeKalb, we will celebrate Black history by highlighting those who have made lasting contributions. All that and more, featuring a wonderful story about our DeKalb County Fire and Rescue.
A smile. It's simple, really. Yet, it can do amazing things. It can show how we feel. It can brighten someone's day. It can even change the course of our lives. But what would life be like if you weren't able to smile? For more than 1 million children, this is their daily struggle. It doesn't have to be this way. Since 1999, Smile Train has been helping children experience the simple joy of a smile that so many of us take for granted. To learn how you can help Smile Train change the world one smile at a time, call or go to smiletrain.org/learn.
I believe in you. Just 4 simple words. But to a child in need, they mean the world. I believe in you means you have potential. You are special. You matter. When you support a child through Save the Children, you're saying, I believe in you. Your help says to a child, I believe that you deserve a successful start to life and a solid foundation to build upon. I believe you're worthy of good nutrition, quality health care and the opportunity that education unlocks. Becoming a Save the Children advocate sends a powerful message of support. It says, I am here for you, to lift you up, to cheer you on, and to celebrate your success. I believe in you. Just 4 simple words that can bring hope, that can change a life. Visit sponsor.savethechildren.org/believe today and tell a child in need, I believe in you.
Welcome back to Inside DeKalb. I'm your host, Paula Gwen Grant. The following series is called Continuing the Journey, I Am Black History. It highlights several individuals who have made lasting contributions to Black history. We start off the series with none other than civil rights activist, Congressman John Lewis, as he speaks about his youth and how he was inspired to join the civil rights movement.
We will be marching on the shoulder of the road and will not in any way be interfering with the pursuit of traffic.
When I was in school, elementary school in rural Alabama, I had a teacher who told me over and over again, read, my child, read. And I tried to read everything. I was deeply inspired by Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. When I was about 17 and a half, in 1957, I read a little comic book, some people call it. It was Martin Luther King Jr. and the Montgomery Story. It was 14 pages. It sold for 10 cents. And that little book inspired a whole generation of young people to get involved in the American Civil Rights Movement. When I was growing up and I would ask my mother, my father, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, why this, why that? They would say, that's the way it is. Don't get in the way, don't get in trouble. But the story of Rosa Parks and the story of Martin Luther King Jr. inspired me to get in the way, to get in trouble, what I call good trouble, necessary trouble.
To be detrimental to your safety to continue this march, and I'm saying that this is an unlawful assembly, you are to disperse. You are ordered to disperse, go home, or go to your church. This march will not continue.
Well, it is very important for young people, the very young, at a very early age, to understand what is right, what is wrong, what is fair, and what is just, and let them know that other young people, another generation of young people, were inspired to get involved. And it doesn't matter how young you are, you can be inspired to do something, to stand up and speak out.
This program belongs to all the citizens of this county. We have the right to be here.
We were beaten, we were arrested in jail, we were left bloody along the way, but we didn't give up. We kept the faith, and we never became hostile, never became bitter, we never hated. And it made me the person that I am today.
That was inspiring. Congressman John Lewis, we thank you for all of your contributions to Black history and for all that you have done. Now, here's another look at Black history, but this time, let's bring it closer to home right here in DeKalb County. This next story in the I Am Black History series features Peggy Allen, the Associate Director of Public Works, Roads, and Drainage. Ms. Allen reflects on the stories of her family's past and her experience growing up in rural Alabama. Let's take a look.
I am Black history. I was born the daughter of a poor Black sharecropper on November 29, 1959, in Greenville, Alabama. And this is my story. The Pecan Orchard is a memoir based on my family history, growing up poor in Alabama, and I discussed family history, family stories, primarily beginning with my great-grandmother. And the one story that struck me, very deeply was the story of when she escaped slavery, being a small child with her parents, and they had been sold to a new plantation in South Alabama. They were moving to a new plantation on foot. She was a small child and she got lost in the woods, and that's how she actually escaped slavery. She never saw her parents again. More than 50 years later, she was able to find news of her younger sister. They'd grown up only a few miles apart, and they were able to reunite after about 50 years. Once my great-grandmother passed away, I realized that there was no one else left to tell the story. She told so many family stories about how our family began and where we came from. And the family history was dying. Black history is oral history, and there was no one left to tell her stories. And when I realized that she would no longer be there, someone needed to tell the stories. So that's when I began to put her stories together. Mama and Daddy did the best they could, rearing 13 children in the rural, segregated South, and their best seemed to have been good enough. There were more hard times than good, but through it all, we persevered. I had no idea it would reach the people and the masses that it has, and the fact that it's being used as a history book and for college courses is just beyond my expectations. I had no idea it would reach anywhere near the number of people that it's reached. To me, Black history means everything. It means family. I think of my older sisters and brothers who went through the 60s and all of the civil rights fights and struggles. Black history means family because it points me back to my history and people who were family struggling to become just a normal, average human being. So to me, Black history is very important. It's always important to remember where you came from, or you'll never know where you're going. I'm thankful for the good times and the bad. All of my experiences together have made me the person that I am today. But my story is not done. There are many places I've not yet seen, and many things I've not yet done. This is only the beginning. My name is Peggy Allen, and I am Black history.
What an amazing story. This just shows that everyone has something that they can contribute to the history of our country and our county. Coming up next on Inside DeKalb, we will continue to look at history in DeKalb County with a twist. And later, our DeKalb County firefighters are recognized for their heroic and life-saving efforts. All that and more is coming up next on Inside DeKalb.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Can you tell which of these children was not born free? Can you tell which of these children was not born equal? Can you tell which of these children does not deserve to be treated with dignity? We can't either. Human right number one. We are all born free and equal. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
Welcome back to Inside DeKalb. I'm Paula Gwen Grant. Some of DeKalb County's oldest residents and members of our thriving senior centers were celebrated as they reached an important milestone in their lives. This story, produced by DCTV, celebrates these citizens and discusses the history of DeKalb County. DCTV's director, Diamond Lewis, has more.
Thanks, Paula. Next up, I invite you on a tour with me to find out just how lively your life can be at the ripe age of 90 years young.
The now bustling streets of DeKalb County, blooming with activity, commerce, and community, were once a bit more muted, slower, but still full of community, pride, and the search of opportunity.
Life in 1915 in DeKalb County was a predominantly rural setting with a series of small towns and communities. It was a period where any business that was conducted, especially related to government or court, you had to come to Decatur.
The kaleidoscope of nuances and developments of technology and infrastructure here in DeKalb and across the globe can not only be grasped through these images produced by the DeKalb History Center, one can also catch a glimpse into the history of DeKalb and life in the early 1900s through the oral history of some of our most seasoned residents.
I'm Shakya Hector Carlton Carew, born on the 8th of March, 1921, in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Kennedy, and I'm 90 years old.
I'm Gordon Leroy Branker. I'm 94 years old.
They are called nonagenarians.
It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, just the idea of all that they have gone through, all that they have seen in terms of change.
I've sent all my children here for education. They had preceded me. And I've had very good news about the place. So I was very much attracted by the information I had and also the pictures that I received.
When I moved from Jersey here, I met people. It was very nice. And there's a vast difference between New York and the South. A lot of things that you hear in the South, in New York, you don't hear in the South. I come here and I see there's a difference between that type of thing.
Well, there aren't too many of us who are still active and have reached this age, and I think that there is some honor to just reaching it in fairly good health is much more important. I had a wonderful run as mayor. I liked everybody and everybody liked me. We didn't have any great problems. It was a small town and nobody ever got mad at anybody, and we just had a good run.
Celebrating each and every day, these nonagenarians have settled into an easy life where they each enjoy spending time at one of DeKalb County's 6 senior centers.
I go there every day except Saturday and Sunday, here. It's very interesting because I'm getting more with this piano lesson.
I take classes, exercise classes for the most part, and I usually eat lunch there. I enjoy it, I enjoy the people, and I enjoy the interaction. It's a nice, the new center is quite nice.
Branker and his blushing bride of 15 years, Virginia, were actually the 100th and 99th members, respectively, to join the Lew Walker Senior Center.
Well, I like doing shooting pool. I enjoy that. I'm fascinated by shooting, especially when I see a person hit a ball and make it go a different direction. It's a beautiful art.
You meet a lot of people and you see some people who are in their just 70 or 80, they're walking like that and not like that. But with me, I can jump or roll, move around easily. I'm feeling quite comfortable and all right here in DeKalb County.
And as these seniors reflect on the way life used to be, one can only forecast the way life will evolve based on the many developments seen through the very eyes of our most seniored residents.
Your world is open. It's not closed.
People were interested in people and talking and visiting, and now it seems as though everybody's got a device in their hand and they're listening to that and they're not listening to you when they're talking to that. And I would say slow down, listen.
For all of our seniors, where no matter when they became DeKalb County residents, we are so happy to have them in our family, and we want to share our very best wishes for many, many more happy birthdays. They really help us look forward to our 90s. So thank you very, very much.
Congratulations again to all of our nonagenarians. Whew, they truly tired me and the entire DCTV team out. They were just that active. Paula, back to you.
Thanks, Diamond. What a wonderful way to celebrate the lives of some of DeKalb County's oldest residents. A lot of what we see around us today and what we enjoy was only made possible because of their contributions to history. Happy birthday to all of our nonagenarians around the world. Now, there's more history where that came from, so just hold on. Let's get back into our I Am Black History series as we highlight the story of DeKalb County's District Attorney, Sherry Boston, as she reflects on her experiences in her career and what Black history means to her.
I am Black history. In Georgia, we have 49 judicial circuits, and so there are 49 elected district attorneys. And I currently am the only African-American female to be serving in that capacity for the state of Georgia.
I, Sherry Boston,
I, Sherry Boston,
do swear that I will faithfully and impartially
do swear that I will faithfully and impartially. The way that I see this role is, I'm proud to be an elected African-American female prosecutor. That is not only rare in the state of Georgia, it's rare in the United States. There's only 1% of elected DAs that are African-American females across the nation. And it is absolutely a great honor, but with it comes great responsibility to make sure that I continue to have a voice in the state of Georgia as an African-American female and bring that perspective to the table that no other district attorney can bring. Black History Month means to me personally just an additional time for me to reflect on where I am and how I got here. I definitely didn't get here alone, and the first African-American female district attorney for DeKalb County was Gwen Keyes Fleming, and she was an inspiration to lawyers like myself coming behind her that we could do what she did and do even more. And so Black History Month for me is a time for me to say, how can I be a role model, but what other people in my life have been that role model for me? To forge that path and for our young women to see that they too could have those dreams and desires, that it's attainable, is something that I hope that me being in this role can be a part of Black History Month. My name is Sherry Boston, and I am Black history.
Thank you, District Attorney Sherry Boston, for sharing your story with us. I'm sure that it inspired someone out there to chase after their dreams, because really we can all do whatever we put our minds to. Stay with us. More Inside DeKalb right after this.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and keep heaters 3 feet away from anything that can burn, because fire is everyone's fight.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend,
the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to Inside DeKalb. Let's look at our final installment of our Continuing the Journey, I Am Black History series, as we highlight the story of DeKalb County Superior Court Judge Clarence Seeliger. Judge Seeliger began practicing law in DeKalb County during the 1960s, in a time where there were no African Americans in the judicial system, and he wanted to help change that.
I'm Black History. Now, there was only one African American in the Georgia legislature at that time, Julian Bond. And they tried to throw him out because he said he was against the Vietnam War. And of course, none of the office holders in Georgia were African American. All the judges were white males. All the employees of the state court and the Superior Court clerks, all white. And it was at the tail end of segregation. And this is in 1963. There were still signs on doors saying blacks only, whites only, in buses, restrooms, water fountains. It just stunned me. And so I decided that sooner or later, I'd probably be getting involved in civil rights work. I'd met Dwight Thomas, he's a lawyer here in DeKalb County, and he'd rented office space for me, and in the process I met his dad, Nesby Thomas. And he approached me and said he'd like to be a bailiff, and I said, well, I hadn't thought about it. I do have to hire a bailiff. Okay, we'll do it. And I thought at that point, this might just start sending a message, because he would be after the first African-American employed in state court. And so the next day, as I was calling a calendar, and ironically, it was a criminal calendar, and 90% of the folks who were in that court were African-American. And so I said, I want to make an announcement. The Confederate flag used to be a flag of honor, and now it represents an attitude toward race. And as such, it should not be in a courtroom. Deputy Thomas, would you please remove the Confederate battle flag? And so he picked it up, walked across the front, strapped it, and that was it. The next day, headline on the Atlanta Journal, new DeKalb judge banishes Confederate flag. That afternoon, I was coming back from lunch, and I ran into this African-American photographer. And he said, are you Judge Seeliger? And I said, well, yeah, I am. And he said, well, I just took a picture of your bailiff with the flag. Do you mind? And he said, no, that's okay. And as I was leaving, he turned and he called me back and he said, Judge, thank you. I went to see the other judges in the state court. Now, I'm the junior judge. I'm the third judge. And I asked him, this county is 37% African American, and we got very few black employees. I have my bailiff here, but don't you think we should be hiring more African Americans? Jack looked at me and says, Chuck, you're right. We're going to do it. So I'm so pleased that Black History Month is coming about. There's a lot of history we haven't recorded yet. The bravery of the people during the 30s and 40s. People like William Du Bois from Clark College, of course Dr. King, and all the other people. Their stories are now being told, and it's an important story that should be told. Now I've been a judge for 36 years. And I think what happened in DeKalb County was going to happen eventually. That is to say, the African Americans would be active participants in the government here. That was going to come. But I think the fact that I did the first hiring, and then I removed the Confederate battle flag, kind of sent a message that things are going to change in this county. And the African American community and the white community should get used to it. Because you're going to have to live together. You're going to have to govern together. You're going to have to participate in the Justice Center together. So let's do it. I'm Clarence Seeliger, and I'm Black History.
Wasn't that a great series highlighting Black history right here in our own backyard, promoting unity and understanding among us all? Now, our DeKalb County firefighters responded to a call at 5:30 a.m. on the morning of January 3rd, 2018, at the Avondale Forest Apartments here in DeKalb. First responders ended up rescuing several people from this inferno, including a 5-year-old girl whose intense rescue was caught on camera. The video has since gone viral and resulted in national recognition for DeKalb County Fire and Rescue.
Mercy 911.
There's a fire in Marquise Forest on building 290. It's a porch fire. Yes, it's spreading really quick.
You said people look like they're trapped inside?
Yes. I hear people screaming.
We have the fire department already en route, okay?
A firefighter, you saved a child, you see them drop from the 3rd floor of a building.
Whoa! That incredible life-saving catch caught on camera by one of the firefighters' helmet cam.
Watch as firefighter Captain Scott Strupp makes the save of his life, catching 5-year-old Destiny Nelson from a 3-story fall. Destiny's father dropping her from the 3rd floor of this burning building.
12 people were trapped in that burning building outside Atlanta. All were rescued by those firefighters.
The video going viral is incredible. Firefighters catching a child out of a burning building.
Take a look at this fire video. It had families trapped, some of them even jumping for their lives, and firefighters catching babies in their arms.
We were catching babies like a football, literally. I mean, there were adults that were on the balcony that were dropping their babies right into our arms.
Heart-stopping drama as a toddler is tossed from a burning building into the arms of a firefighter.
Back now with the desperate moments for a terrified family having to decide whether to toss their children to firefighters 3 stories down. ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, dramatic helmet cam video revealing the moment firefighters pull up to a raging fire engulfing an apartment complex.
An early morning apartment fire left several injured, including children. Our Daniel Wilkerson was at the scene this morning. He has the latest.
12 people taken to a hospital. I'm told of those, 8 of those are children, 4 are adults. Thankfully, they have non-life-threatening injuries.
Let's call this even more impossible, the situation. She caught the baby standing on a ladder.
Watch as firefighter Captain Scott Strupp makes this incredible catch. Another firefighter, Captain Jackie Peckrell, catches another one of their children in her arms, a newborn twin, all while standing on a ladder.
I got about halfway up there, and here comes the baby down to my arms.
I'm extremely proud to honor the more than 60 firefighters that worked together on that cold January 3rd morning to rescue nearly 100 residents, including children.
Some Georgia firefighters being called heroes after saving several people from a burning apartment building.
I'm extremely proud of the firefighters because they exemplified on a national stage, international stage, the character, the courage, and the willingness to place their lives in harm's way for others, which are the traits found in the best of our profession.
Now, in an ABC News exclusive, Captain Strupp reuniting with the little girl he saved.
It's so good to meet you. Can I have a hug? Yeah, thank you so much.
DeKalb County Fire there in Atlanta. It is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and kudos to DeKalb County Fire Rescue. We are the best.
We here at DCTV salute our DeKalb County Fire and Rescue and thank all of our first responders for the hard work that you do each and every day. Well, I mean, this is the end of the show. I can't believe it. That's just this edition now of Inside DeKalb. Don't worry. We're always out and about bringing you the news you can really use and be proud of when it comes to your county. Be sure to check out all of our social media platforms and watch us live on DCTV. For all of the DCTV team, I'm Paula Gwen Grant. I'll see you next time on Inside DeKalb.